You're kind of like on step 7, and I want to make sure I cover that, Nina. But here's can we just go back to step 1 so we can set the foundation correctly, and I know where we can leap off together at the same time? Ascenders! Woo! It's the middle of the week. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're as pumped up as I am today. Today is awesome, and here's why. I just got off a sales call, and I love sales calls, right? And I especially love sales calls when you get it to the place where they're like, oh man, like you've totally opened my eyes. Like a lot of people think sales calls are some people don't even like them, which I don't understand. They're crazy. But because literally when you can help people find clarity and guide them in a direction that they're going to go and change and make awesome things happen and create impact, like, whew, that just fills up my cup. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, happy Wednesday. It's hump day. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Today's question came in from Nina. Nina, I love this question. She asks, Sean, when setting the rules of the game for the call, what do you do if they dive in and take control of the call before you do? Such a great question. So let's go back and just set the framework so you guys have a little bit of an understanding of where we're at, why we're doing this. Okay, so in every single sales call, no matter what it is, there's one piece that has to be in there, and it's called setting the rules of the game. We use this analogy, game, G-A-M-E, and literally it sounds like this. So then once you have this context, I'll answer the question. You start the sales call, do a little bit of bonding and connecting, right? So that literally means mirroring and matching the speed somebody talks, the pitch they talk, the volume that they talk at, right? So that you only have to do that for 90 seconds. I'll get into that later in another tune-up, but once you've done that, we go to the next stage in the sales call, which is setting the rules of the game. Basically, think about a baseball game. When a baseball game first starts, what happens is the coach of each team comes to home plate, and then the umpire is standing there. And the umpire says to each coach, okay, guys, we're going to have a great game today. This is what we're going to do. Here's all the rules. If foul ball is over here, if it goes through that fence, this is what happens. Here's the rules of the game. Do you guys both agree? Yes. So then the coaches go back to their dugout and the ball game proceeds, and then whatever happens, happens, right? Same thing in a sales call. You want to be the umpire, okay? Like that's the most important place. You want to be sales guy and umpire, and then they're going to be obviously prospect. So those are the 3 players. So you have to kind of play 2 roles. So during this part of the sales call, the most important thing is setting the rules, or setting kind of the guideline or the format or the outline of what's going to be happening in the call. We use this analogy, game. It sounds like this. Miss Prospect Nina, I'm so grateful. That's the G. I'm so grateful to have an opportunity to speak with you. Today, what I wanted to make sure we do is I'm going to ask you a few questions. That's the A. I'm going to ask you a few questions. And I'm sure you're going to have some questions for me. That's the M. And then at the end, one of 2 things is going to happen. We're going to realize this is a really good fit for you and we can take the next steps together. Or we're going to realize we're not quite a fit yet. It's poor timing, whatever the case may be. And then I'm going to help connect you with somebody that might be able to help you or move you in the right direction. Does that sound okay? Now, once you've had that part, you've set those rules of the game, a couple of things have happened in the call. First of all, the prospect falls in line. Second of all, they believe you're now a trusted advisor. And third, you control the entire meeting. How do you control it? With questions. And then you would go to the next part of the call. This question today, very valid. Thank you, Nina, for asking. She says, when setting the rules of the game for the call, what do you do if they dive in and take control, or they go down a rabbit hole before anything else? Like that just literally happened to me right before this live in a sales call myself. And so literally I use this format. Here's the answer to this question. So when they dive in and they start going down a rabbit hole, you say, whoa, hang on one second. Like, can we just back up the bus? You're kind of like on step 7, and I want to make sure I cover that, Nina. But here's can we just go back to step 1 so we can set the foundation correctly, and I know where we can leap off together at the same time, and wait for them to say yes. And they say yes, and you drop back into the game analogy, and you say, oh, perfect. I'm so grateful that I had the chance to chat with you today. Like I said, we're definitely going to cover the thing that you were just talking about, but here's what I want to make sure we do. I got to ask you a few questions to learn a little bit more about your world. You're going to have some questions for me, and then at the end, we'll decide if this is a really good fit or it's not. Does that make sense? And now you've backed up the bus from the rabbit hole that they started going down. You've pulled them back into a place where now you've set the rules of the game and everything else applies. So literally you're the trusted advisor in the call. They understand and respect that you're the authority, right? Because if they don't respect you, they're going to walk all over you. This is how you gain respect in a call. You set the agenda, right? That's the move. So when somebody goes down a rabbit hole before you have a chance to set the agenda, you just simply say, Nina, I love what you're talking about right now, but let's just back up for a second so I can get on the same page as you. Would that be okay? And we'll definitely cover this in a minute. I just need to get on the same. Yeah, that's totally cool, Sean. Okay, perfect, Nina. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity to chat. Like I mentioned, I'm going to ask you a few questions about your business. It'll be pretty simple. I got to dig into a couple of areas. I'm sure you're going to have some questions for me. Obviously, we're already going down that path. I'll make sure to cover what we were just talking about. And then at the end, if it makes sense, we'll move forward. Is that okay? Yes. And so now you've set the agenda, you've regained control of the call, and you dive into the next section of the sales call, which is going to be the pain compartment. This is where you have to dig and find out what their pains are. And very simply put, there's two questions that I always ask to start this part of every sales call. Hey, where are you trying to go? What's the objective of where your business is trying to get to? And then they're going to share where they're trying to take their business. And then you simply say, hey, what's the biggest challenge that's holding you back right now? And then they're going to come through, and then you drop into the magical 8 questions. Like, it works every time. I've never seen it not work. So when you execute like that, I can promise you this will change everything that you guys do. And I'm excited. I hope this was helpful for you because I know this one's really valuable. This has happened to a lot of people, and that's why Nina asked this question. Nina, thank you for this question. I think it was epic. And guys, if you missed this one, just go back and watch the video. And by the way, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything that I can cover in a high ticket tune-up for you, drop it in a comment below.